Okay, so this is going to be a quick video on my preferred method for holding a pick. I have looked at all kinds of grips and different ways to hold the pick over the years, and this is my preferred method. It has its origins in a Paul Gilbert video that I had when I was a kid. I think I probably got it. I've been playing for about a year. I was probably about 16 or so, and got myself this Paul Gilbert instructional video. And he didn't specifically show in the video how he holds the pick, but the one thing that you could tell by watching the video was that, you know, especially at that time, you know, I wasn't aware of any other guitar players that had that level of technique, you know, speed and accuracy in their playing. And I figured there's probably got to be a reason for that, and maybe it has something to do with his picking hand, so I tried to pay attention as much as I could, and you know, tried to sort of model the way that I held the pick after what he was doing. I play, I think, a pretty drastically different style of music from what he plays, so I've had to sort of adapt it to different types of things over the years, differently in a way, but the basic grip hasn't changed, essentially, the way that I hold the pick and the angle that it's on and whatnot. So I'm going to show that to you, and I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so here's the basic grip. You're going to take your hand, you're going to fold your fingers in like this. Keep them relaxed, they can be spread open a little bit. Try not to bend at the knuckles here. If you make too much of a fist, your fingers are going to bump into the strings when you play. So you want to just make it look like this. Okay, and then what we're going to do is pick goes on top of the index finger like that, and the thumb clamps down like this. Ridge of your hand here goes onto the bridge, and the pick should be on a slightly sloping downwards angle like that. Okay, and that's the basic grip. Okay, so in a minute I'm going to talk about what I see are some of the advantages to holding the pick this way, and also I'll mention talk a little bit about what I see are some disadvantages to holding it with other methods, such as, for example, I see a lot of people hold the pick between their thumb and two fingers rather than their thumb and one finger like this, and I think there's some disadvantages to doing it this way and some advantages to doing it this way. Before I talk about that, though, I just wanted to mention real quickly, this is more geared towards students that are brand new to the guitar. One thing that I see a lot when I'm teaching private lessons is most new guitar players will try to sort of float their hand above the strings when they play, and so they'll sort of try to pick like this without having their hand braced on anything. Now, the reason why that's a problem, it's very difficult to have a lot of control over your hand when you're doing that. A good example that I use for students a lot of times when I have a new student come in, I'll hand them a piece of paper and a pen and get them to try to write their name as small as possible on the piece of paper. Now, it's very easy to do, to write very small if you have your hand braced on the paper. It allows you to make very small, precise motor movements with your fingers. If you try doing it this way, though, with your hand floated up like this, it's very, very difficult to make any type of sort of precise movements. It becomes much, much more difficult. So what I always tell people is when you're playing guitar, you want to imagine, you know, if you were going to write your name on the strings of the guitar, you'd want to brace your palm on something in order to be able to do very small, fine, precise movements. Now, this doesn't apply if you are doing, for example, if you're strumming big chords where you don't have to be as accurate, where you're basically just bumping into all the strings with the pick, you're hitting every string on the way down and up, then this doesn't apply. But if you're doing any type of small, you know, single note lines where the movements that are required are very small and precise, it's good to have your hand braced on something, whether that's the bridge. Some people will sometimes do it more on the body of the guitar like this. I use another method where I'll talk about this in a later video, for tremolo picking, where I sort of run my fingers along the body of the guitar. The bottom line is you generally want to have your hand braced in some way. So that's something real important to think about when you're picking is for accuracy, to have your palm on the bridge for most things. One other quick thing I thought I should mention in regards to playing with your palm on the bridge. By no means do you have to lock it onto one spot on the bridge. As I move across the strings, my hand is going to be moving back and forth this way. If I'm going for accuracy and I'm using the bridge to brace my palm on, I'm always going to want to keep it in contact with the bridge. But as I move down from string to string, it's going to basically slide along this way, back and forth. Okay, so be sure to check out part 2 of this video, where I'm going to talk about all the advantages to holding the pick in this grip, and I hope this has been useful to you, and I hope you enjoyed the video.